Okay. So let's start. We shall not wait for the rest. And just for your info, this recording will be on Facebook. Will be on Facebook groups after this because I've done the recording. And if you guys can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. So if you guys can hear me, just give me a thumbs up and I will continue. So at the same time, for those who just come in, I would appreciate if you can turn on your video, and because this is going to be a very interactive session, I would also appreciate for your 100% participation and get ready to write notes. So you can ask question in the chat. And last but not least, enjoy this session. Okay. So let me just move my. Okay. So today's topic is Facebook Live Tips for Business, and how to build up your authority and promote your business more effectively using live stream. All right. So thanks all of you for coming in. Thanks Corina. Thanks Michelle. Thanks Jolene. Thanks Nicole for coming in. Thank you very much. Thanks for making the time. I believe that why you guys are in here because you have a business and you want to use and explore using Facebook Live to reach out to your audience to promote your product or services, right? Okay. So before we start, let me ask you some questions. So, have you guys done any Facebook Live before? So, what you can do is share with me in the chat whether have any one of you done any Facebook Live. If you have done it, just type one. If not, just type two. Okay. So let me see in the chat. Okay, I see one. See one. Okay. How about the rest? Have you done? Okay. No, there's two. All right. Okay. Any more? We have okay, one. Okay, we have one more. Okay. Okay, good. So most of you have done Facebook Live before. Just only one of you have not done it. Okay, good. So the next question is, what is your biggest challenge in doing Facebook Live? Especially for those who have done it before, just share with me in the chat. For those who have not done it, why? Why have you not done it? Is that your biggest challenge, or is there a biggest challenge of you doing it for the first time? Okay, share it with me in the chat so that these two questions basically help me to understand you guys better and also understand what is stopping you, what is your challenge. All right. So just share me in the chat so that I have a better idea. And it's also good for the rest of you to understand what are the challenges that is happening for the rest that is in this session. All right. Okay. Just share me in the chat. Meantime, okay, so let me see what you guys have. What is your biggest challenge in doing Facebook Live? If you don't know what is your biggest challenge, then you can also type I don't know. That which is a very common thing. All right. Could it be fear? Could it be, oh, what content should I put it out, Kenneth? Or it could be that, oh, I plan, but it's very hard. What am I going to do on Facebook Live? I'm not talking to someone. I'm just talking to a camera. So let me know in the chat. What is your biggest challenge? Okay, don't feel shy. It's okay to share it here. You would rather it that you share it here, and I can address to them later on. And who knows that some of the tips that I've shared in creating on Facebook Live, it will be answering your question, and some of your challenges might be something that the rest that is tuning in, they are facing also. So it would be good that they will understand, hey, I'm not alone, I'm not the only one that is having these challenges. So do feel free to put in the chat, let me know. All right. Okay, don't feel shy. Okay, we are here to learn, right? So if we are here to learn, it's also good to let others know, and also learn from others. Okay, so from Jolene is fear the face-to-face live instead of should product speak more confident. Okay, so maybe Jolene, you can unmute yourself. I want to hear from you. I want to ask you some questions. You can unmute yourself. Okay. So meanwhile, let me see. For Corina is content and nice Nice environment. Wow, that is something that I might want to understand more. Like content, I totally understand, but what do you mean by nice environment? Are you referring to the background or what sort? Okay. Okay, I see that you are nodding your head about the background. The background can always, like for me, do you think that my background is nice? I just organize it, I just tidy up. Or worst come to worst, you can always get on those marketplaces that you can have a raised up black backdrop. Okay, you can use just a cloth, or you can just tidy up the back. Yeah. If not, the other way, the best way is to off all the lights and have light shooting at your face. That means you only see your face. Yeah. That means the background is dark. Okay. Then you have the ring light that's shooting on your face. So the focus is on your face. All right. So Jolene, maybe you can share with me, what do you mean by you fear the face-to-face live? Like you are doing Facebook Live. Why is there the fear of the face-to-face live?
It will be it will be more comfortable and more confident when I shoot the product and I speak behind the camera. It's not so much of fear. Instead of like that, we have
Mm,
to face in indirectly in such a way like Zoom this way.
mm,
It kind of fear.
mm.
Yeah. So the courage, like well, I do it before somewhere June. I do it
Mm,
once on my own, and then Shopper Vision. I feel the biggest challenge is, yeah, the really the camera things is actually because it's not yet familiar, and the
mm,
script and things and so on, we have to really like write it a lot and really think what we want to say, and
mm.
the objective that we have to say it out is to make sure we don't too kanchong. Yeah, so it turns out to be too kanchong and face to up to face. Then rather we shoot the camera and we talk, right? It will be much more kind of relaxed. I don't know what kind of emotional thing, psychology
Mm,
thinking or what maybe. Yeah,
totally
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, so that is the part where fear to face life, but instead of shooting the product, right, it will be make me feel more comfortable and more
Mm,
confident, like sharing what is the benefit and so on.
mm.
Mm,
Okay, I guess you just shared something that you might not know. Just now you said the word confident. Okay, if okay, let's put it out. Okay, this is something for the rest to learn also. Why are you not confident on camera? Okay, would it be better for you if you have someone in front of you that you share, that you're sharing this product information with? Will you feel confident enough? If let's say today, for like let's say for Jolene, will you feel confident if let's say let's say I'm sitting in front of you, you're sharing this product with me, will you feel confident? That will you have this fear, or will you still have this fear?
probably not, like because we really can see the person face. I mean, seeing them their expression, but
Mm-mm.
in life itself is 我们自己跟自己讲话 then
Yeah, yeah.
我们都 cannot see their expression
Mm-mm.
how and sometimes text is like in commenting on the texting, right,
Yeah.
it's a bit um their sound tone everything are different,
Mm.
so
Mm-mm.
it's a bit different when it comes to digital
Mm.
kind of like this kind of life lah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Mm.
good. That is a very good sharing. Later, I will share more because on one of the tips I've shared, that would help. But going back to the word confident, a lot of time why we are not confident, and this is what I've realized after sharing this session about doing Facebook Live or even doing live stream on Zoom and stuff like that. It is the reason why we are not confident is that we have not been doing it so often. Like for me, talking to a camera is something that none of us have experienced. But talking to human beings, we are used to it. Okay, the word is used to it. So I would say that if before you can do any videos, it's not just Facebook Live, it's also videos, it's also Zoom meeting. Talking to the camera is a bit hard because it's not human, it doesn't give you interaction. So that's why you need to get used to talk to the camera. Like now I'm talking straight to the camera, I'm not looking at the screen, I'm not looking at the Zoom. So this is where you can connect with people. So even for when you do Facebook Live, right, it's about connectivity. Okay, so today, right? If let's say today, if you don't have the Facebook Live, you don't have people commenting, meaning that you're just doing a video. So the fear is about facing the camera, facing this device that's over here that there's no face on it. Okay, there's one trick that I learned from someone is that you put your loved one, their picture on the camera, so you're talking to them. Okay, this is one way to getting used to it. The other way is to keep doing videos, just pre-recorded video till you get used to it, to talk straight to the camera. Okay, this is how you can build up the confidence. And also, if you're and the other reason why people are not confident is because they are not sharing something that they know well enough. Okay, that they are well enough. Okay, so this confident thing, there's a lot of underlying to it, but the key thing is still getting used to it. And how to get used to it is to do more videos, because once you do more videos, you will be natural on videos. Okay, you have to do more enough, and also to review. So later I will share with in one of the tips. So moving on, like, okay, Nicole say that she's okay to talk, content is okay, but the people on live can be higher. So maybe Nicole can share with me, what do you mean by the people on live can be higher? Okay, maybe you can unmute yourself and share with
Yeah,
me.
I prefer to unmute. Okay, so for me, you know, sometimes when you go live so suddenly, right? And then you, and because my
Okay.
talk show is only 20 minutes, I purposely make it very short.
Mm,
So if I don't start immediately, then I wasted my guest time, right? So if I start immediately, then I need to wait for people to come online. If not, I'm talking to the air, I'm talking to myself, and just me
mm,
and my guest. So
okay.
I feel that what I am sharing is so valuable. So it will be great if people can come on live, because there's a lot of people who will watch my video after the live,
Mm-mm,
and then they cannot interview my guest speaker on the spot.
mm-mm,
So I feel that if let's say I have more traffic coming to see my Facebook live, then that
yep.
will be great. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I get it.
Mm.
So I'm glad that you are here today, because later on I will share something that will address your this concern. Okay. The other one will be Michelle say that she feel Jolene also need to gain more confidence to speak live. Okay. I guess ultimately it's still about the confidence. Okay, later I'll touch more on that. So Nicole is you partner with people to do Facebook Live together to help you build confidence. Okay, that is one way for you to build confidence. But it will not address the challenge or the struggle that you have uh, just now when you share, like getting more people. Okay, so good, thanks a lot. I guess I have everyone have shared your challenges, and now we can move on. And for those who are watching the replay, this is the part that you can contribute also. If you're watching the video, the replay, you can post all your answers in the comments, and I will answer them. I will reply to your answer to your challenge. Okay, share with me what is your biggest challenge. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I guess for benefit of doubt, I guess most of you know me, but I will just run through for those who are watching the replay and seeing me for the first time. So I'm an author, and so basically, who is Kenneth Chu? I'm an author of Mother Industrialist, perfecting the balance between motherhood and business success. So in my book, I've interviewed 15 mompreneurs that I personally know in the past 10 over years, and I've interviewed them, share their stories on how they started their business. And at the same time, I'm also a speaker that I speak on topics like mompreneurship, work-life balance. So I've been invited even onto Mrs. Singapore Beauty Pageant 2019 to speak about balancing of business and work and parenting and all that stuff. So I'm also the founder of KC Creative Marketing, where we provide designing services and marketing consulting, and mainly we help and manage clients' digital marketing solutions. And for me, I've been in the parenting industry for the past 10 over years. At the same time, in these 10 over years in parenting industry, I'm into advertising. I've been in the advertising sales. I'm also in media sales with our local TV station. And also, I'm now running my own marketing agency. All right. So at the same time, you might be wondering, like, who is Kenneth Chu and why is he able to to talk about Facebook Live, running Facebook Live more effectively, to be an authority, to promote your business. So I've done, in fact, to date, I have to update this. I've done 73 episodes of Mompreneur interview, and it's on a weekly basis on every Monday, either 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Singapore time. So I've been a podcaster for 73 episodes. I would say that will be good enough to share with you, especially for you. If you have not done any Facebook Live or you have not done more than 73 episodes, then you can that will be something that I can share with you. And for me, for those who are wondering whether I'm married for 14 years with an 11-year-old daughter. So yeah, that's all. That's about me. Okay. So for today, the table of content. So what I will be sharing with all of you today is these three parts. Okay, these three parts. Number one is what do you need to prepare before doing your Facebook Live? This is something that I realized that a lot of people are not putting in this portion. And that's why, like what Nicole have shared, she's not getting the traffic because she does her Facebook Live very last minute or without preempt. So even she done the preempt, she's still not able to drive traffic. Later, I will share this on how you prepare. So number one is preparation before Facebook Live. That's very important. Number two will be what are the top 12 Facebook tips during streaming. Okay, so this is something which is going to be heavy. So let me know. If you have any question, you can post in the chat. And last but not least, post Facebook Live. This is something that a lot of people are not doing it. Uh, Most likely because they are not aware of the Facebook algorithm that would help them to boost or even to push their posts or their Facebook Live to more people. Okay, so let's get straight to part one. Okay, so part one for the preparation. Before you even start your Facebook Live, you need to determine how long the duration of your live stream. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes. Why? Because for 30 minutes, you have to see whether would you want to add in a call to action, or would it just be a tips, like a sharing of what you're going to do in that 30 minutes. So like what Nicole has shared, she's going to do an interview. She's going to bring a guest and she's going to do it within 20 minutes. To be frank, 20 minutes with a guest is not enough. Why? Because by doing the introduction is already will take some time. And if you are letting the Facebook Live, because Facebook Live, you need the guest to come in. And for the first, later I will touch on one of the part, which is the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes is where you need to do your staging. Okay. So for 30 minutes, meaning that you only have 20 minutes of content, because the first 10 minutes will be the rah-rah waiting for people to come in and how are you going to do the setup. And the next 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes will be you covering content. And if you still want people to ask questions, then you have to factor the Q&A. So frankly speaking, if you have a guest, typically 30 minutes will not be enough. Yeah, and it's also very hard for people to get the best out of the guests. It will not, for me personally, after doing 73 episodes, I would feel that it does not justify for the guest to come in for just 20 minutes. Okay, I would suggest that you do at least a 45 minutes, then with a 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A, and this 10 to 15 minutes will have what I call the introduction and the ending, or even a call to action. Okay, so 90 minutes is a bit long, but 90 minutes is what I'm doing now, like doing a training. So the typical training that I'm doing is about 90 to 120 minutes. Okay, about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, because there are a lot of interaction. Like the interaction that we have done is at least 5 minutes. So it contribute to that 90 minutes. Okay, so the first thing you need to decide before you even start a Facebook Live is to determine the duration of the live stream. Okay, second part is what format are you going to do? If let's say you have 2 person, you're going to do on Facebook Live, you can do it by what we call the 9:16 or 16:9. Later I'll cover how does it look like. And third will be a clear objective. And fourth, it will be specific target audience. And 5 will be plan, prepare, and promote. Okay, so the next few slides will be more in depth. Like I've mentioned about the duration determined, because sharing of content, whether is it 30 minutes can be short sharing, 60 minutes will be sharing of content with 15 minutes of Q&A. Okay, and also 90 minutes will be in-depth content with upsell. Okay, but don't worry, this session is going to be just a free. There's no upsell, there's no selling at all, but it will be just pure value and information and Q&A. All right. Okay. So this is part one. You have to determine the duration of your live stream before you start. Second will be the format of live stream. It will depend whether you are doing a Facebook live, IG live, or YouTube live. Okay. And how does it look like? For example, if you were to do a Facebook live and you want to repurpose the video, meaning that if let's say, okay, let me know if you guys can see my cursor. Okay, let me know. Okay, you can see. Okay, I can see the nodding of head. Okay, so if you can see this, meaning that for any videos that you're doing for Facebook Live or live stream, it's best for you to record. The recording has to be 16:9. Why? Because in the event when you want to crop, right, you can crop something like that. This is after cropping of putting into IGTV or even for mobile user, mobile friendly to repurpose. Okay, but imagine if you are doing IG live, right, and you want to put it for YouTube, you can't. So the site will be black, will be blurred naturally. So it does not justify. So if you want to repurpose, unless today you tell me that, okay, Kenneth, I'm just purely doing IG live and I'm not going to repurpose. The most I'm going to repurpose into IGTV. Then you can stick with 9:16. Okay, so these are the format that you need to determine before. A lot of I see a lot of people who do IG live and record it and they cannot repurpose. They cannot repurpose to other platforms, other social media platform. And why you need to repurpose to other social media platform is to create that reach. Okay. So next will be, what is your clear objective? What do you want to achieve out from this Facebook Live? I see a lot of people doing Facebook Live not knowing what is their end game, what is the end in mind. Meaning that, are you going to do a giveaway? Are you doing a promotion? Or are you selling? Or are you creating awareness? Or are you introducing a product launch? So you need to know what is objective. A lot of times I see what most people committed or done is they have a lot of objectives. Okay. So you can't really do a lot of things, because imagine I'm the viewer. I'll be confused. So do you want to do a giveaway, or do you want to do a promotion, or are you selling, or are you just creating awareness? So as an audience, as a viewer, I will be confused. Which one? Because there's only so much that we can get from you. And if let's say I'm a ADHD person, I need kinesthetic, I need to move around, and you give me so many objective or so many call to action, I'm not able to capture it. So what typically I would advise is, if you're doing for 30 minutes, don't think about having any giveaway or promotion. Okay, why do I say that? Because by putting out content and value content, it will take you about that time. The most is for awareness. Okay, so if you want to have any objective for 60 minutes, then maybe it makes more sense. And for 60 minutes, you can have at least one objective, meaning that in the 60 minutes, in the 45 minutes of content, do one giveaway, just one giveaway. Unless you're going to stretch it to 90 minutes, then you can have two call to action. That means you can have a giveaway plus maybe a promotion or a product launch. Okay, if you are promoting products. Okay, so the key thing is to have one clear objective at least. Okay, not just going on doing Facebook Live and there's no objective. What are you going to get out of it? Because imagine, let's say for Nicole, she's interviewing someone. So what is your call to action? Okay, at the end of it, does it even justify for the viewer to understand what your guest is doing? And when the guests do a call to action, is it more convincing? Do they have enough information to really buy in? Okay, so that's the key thing, because you need to build up. And if you randomly are doing, you are not putting it consistent. That means your life is not consistent. Not every Monday, not every Wednesday at certain time. People will forget. Okay, so this is number 3. Okay, so number 4 is, you have to know what is your specific target audience. This is something that I always emphasize to anyone that I'm coaching or I'm mentoring, is that when you want to serve everyone, you serve no one. Okay, this is something that I always ask. So let me ask all of you, do you know who are your target audience? Okay, if you know your target audience, just type one in the chat. And when I say specific target audience, I mean that um, you have to know what are their age group, what are their demographic, what are they working as? Are they male, female? Are they 30 to 40? Are they blue collar? Or are they professionals? Or are they housewife? Or who are they? And if you can, give them a name or what we call avatar. Like let's say I have this avatar called Susie, and Susie, she's a single mom with 3 kids, and these 3 kids, she's now in her mid 40s, 45 years old, and she 3 kids, teenager kids. So this is the extent that you have to go to specific target audience. Okay, you may not have a name for it, but at least you have the age, you have their demographic, you have their interests. What do they do? Do they love surf, waveboarding, or stuff like that? Okay, do you really need to? Because if you don't even know who are your ideal customer or who are your specific audience or avatar, you're basically serving no one. Because this is the reason why, because most of you are startup or you're SME or you're solopreneur, you do not have that much resources. So when you're serving the whole ocean, you really serve no one. You cannot even catch a fish, because with your resources, you might only have one fishing rod and you can only catch small fishes. Then why not find a pond where there are fishes? Okay. So when we talk about specific target audience, meaning that instead of the big ocean, go and find a pond. Okay. And the pond will be specific. Maybe this pond only has salmon. Okay. So this is what I'm referring to. So be specific in who you are going to speak to during the Facebook Live. And also to understand, are they your cold, warm, or hot audience? Okay. Typically in Facebook Live, you're speaking to what we call lukewarm. The reason is because they know who are you, meaning that if I do a Facebook Live, people in my Facebook will know that, oh, who is Kenneth Chu? Maybe they are connected with me. They have not seen me before. They do not know me as a friend. So they are considered cold, but not that cold. They do not know, they know my name at least. So they are considered lukewarm. It's between cold and warm. And some of them are my friends. They are considered warm, but they do not know me that well, because maybe we have not catch up for a long time. They only see what I post. So they kind of know me, know roughly what I'm doing, but do not know exactly what I'm doing. Okay. So that's where they are not under the warm also. They are considered lukewarm. Okay. So if you get this, just type 4 in the chat so I know that you guys get it, and I'll move on to the next slide. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, good. Good. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, thanks, Corina. Okay. Okay, Jolene, okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Some more? Okay, good. So the next one will be plan, prepare, and promote. So there's a saying, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So like what Nicole have shared just now is for her Facebook Live is very impromptu. It's very last minute. There's no notice. And I would suggest, especially now, Facebook algorithm has changed a bit, meaning that if today you watch, if you go through your news feed, sometimes you might not be seeing today's post. You might see some of your friends' posts of 2 to 3 days. Okay, so bear in mind that your today's post, let's say you are doing a Facebook Live, whatever you post today might not reflect on their news feed. And furthermore, if you're not active on Facebook, they might not even see it. They might see it after your Facebook Live 2 to 3 days later. Okay, this is what I observed. You can go and do a test. So it's always good for you to promote at least 2 to 3 days prior. Okay, in the past before this COVID, right, I would say to have at least 5 to 7 days. But now, where most people are online, they are very active on social media. They are so used to people having Facebook Live. Their attention span will be shorter. So within 2 to 3 days prior to your Facebook Live, it's good for you to have a promotion. That means you promote about it, and also have a simple poster. Okay, why would I say to have a poster? Because with graphic, you're able to capture people, and what you put on the poster is also very important. is also, why would I say that? For example, if you have, okay, look at my phone. While they scroll, right, you need a graphic, right, to really stop them from scrolling. Okay, so they need to see something, and your message has to be clear when they scroll. So it has to be big font or big picture, or at least have a beautiful picture of yourself. So if you look at my poster, I always have me myself as a very big picture and the guest. Okay, and the color have to be striking enough for them to stop scrolling. Okay, so have a simple poster, and also have your message straight away, because I see a lot of people's posters with a lot of words, with a lot of pictures, with too much. They are squeezing everything from A4 size to a handphone size. Like the screen is so small. Okay, so be aware of the poster that you're doing for your Facebook Live. It's very, very important. It has to be short and sweet or simple. Yeah. And last but not least, this is something that I realized that most people are not doing, is to blast it to your list. And the reason why most of you or most people are not blasting it out to their list is they fear that they are spamming their friends. Okay, they fear that um, they these are something that their friends might not need, or their list might not need. Okay, so this is where I will share with all of you. Like for me, my main target audience are mothers. My content are revolving around interviewing mompreneurs. So every week I will have my show. And for me, I will share with my target audience, which are mothers. That's where step number 4 will be knowing your specific target audience. Okay, so that you will avoid the scenario of not putting out the right content to the right people. All right. So if you have that in mind, you know that, okay, I'm sending all this mompreneur the interview on mothers on my Facebook Live, then it's okay for them to consume, because I have mothers coming to me that they know that I'm doing this, that they see that I've been posting, that I've been actively doing this Facebook Live. And maybe they've come across someone who has started a business, they will refer them to me. They'll say, hey, Kenneth, can you interview this person? She's a mompreneur. I have that, because this is what we call sticking it to your audience. Okay, they are not your really specific target audience or buyers or customers, but they know what you're doing. It's like advertisement. Like people have already know me that, oh, I have this show, I interview mompreneurs, people will just refer, or someone who started a new business, a mother, they will also refer to me. Okay, so this is the power of sticking it to them. Only until so far from record, I only have 2 mothers that tell me that, oh, Kenneth, you don't have to update me every week, like that, or then I'll pull them out from the list. Okay, so just keep doing it. And I also have mothers that I'll come across, or people who are in my list, they let me know, hey, Kenneth is good. Are you doing this often? That's why I got invited by one of the mompreneurs to invite me to do this sharing on Facebook Live tips. Yeah, so this is where you can get exposure, publicity. So it's okay for you to blast to your list, provided that you are blasting out to your contact list. That means your specific target audience, not any Tom, Dick, and Harry, or not any generic business group. Okay, you still can post in the business group provided you're allowed. Okay, so Nicole is saying it's every Wednesday with different guests, but still low traffic. Okay, Nicole, this one we will address maybe later on about the low traffic, because I have to go and see how are you promoting it. Because from what I see, I don't see you promoting your show that is every Wednesday. Okay, you're just going on every Wednesday to do it, but you're not promoting enough. You're not sticking it. You don't even have a poster telling people that you're doing this show every Wednesday. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, got it. So if you get this, if you have any question for this, just let me know in the chat. If not, type 5 and I'll move on to the next one. All right. Meantime, let me just have a sip of water. Okay, thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Corina. Thanks, Jolene. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Okay, moving on. Okay, so the second part will be a bit heavy. So if you guys need to screenshot any part of the slide, you can go ahead. You can even print screen and cut it to whatever document that you have or Word document. You can do that. If not, you can also watch the replay on the Facebook group that you're in, and you can do that recording after that or the screenshot. If not, this part, write write down notes. Why the reason why you need to write down notes is when you write, you register rather than you just snap, because you snap, you forget. Okay, when you write, your body is registering the information into your brain subconsciously. You may not remember, but it's already in. Okay, this is a part of what I call cone of learning. Okay, so I'm now touching on the top 12 Facebook tips during streaming. Okay, so this is like what I will be covering. So what you can do is you can screenshot this so that when I go through, you know what is the next step. So I'm now going through what are the top Facebook live tips. First is the clear audio. Second is speak slower. Third is speaker audio level. Fourth will be do a dry run through. Five will be technical support. Six will be the first 5 minutes. This is very, very important. Seven will be intro. Eight will be content. Nine will be ending. 10 will be engagement. And 11 will be use visual aids. And 12 will be reflections. Okay. So now I'm going to touch on each point, each tip in depth. Okay. For this, I cannot emphasize. This is something I will emphasize a lot, which is to have a clear audio. Okay, so let me know in the chat, or even you can do a thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Like everything that I'm saying, just give me a thumbs up, and I'll know that if you can hear me clearly. If you compare with other people who's doing Zoom, you realize that there's a lot of wow 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 sound, or their audio are breaking up. Okay, so if you have that experience, give me a clap. Okay, so if you have that experience of people's audio not as sharp, not as clear as mine, okay, give me a clap if you have that experience when you attend any Zoom. So I see that Nicole has that. And the reason why is try not to use built-in mic. Okay, let me share this theory with you. Okay, a lot of them having this wow wow sound, or the audio is, most of them are not using earpiece. Okay, and are not using external mic. Okay, those that have this wow wow sound is because they're using the laptop. Okay, because the built-in mic and the built-in speakers are together. So imagine if you're hearing from the speaker and someone is talking on the Zoom and you're replying. Do you agree with me that your laptop is vibrating? And when it's vibrating, your mic, the sound might not, because there's a clash in the sound wave. The sound coming out and the sound going in. That's why the audio are breaking up. And the other thing is, when I'm speaking, like if we are doing face-to-face, we are doing through sound wave. But now when we are going through digital, my voice is going in the mic as digital data and stuff like that. Then it goes to you. Do you agree with me that it will break up? That means the digital will break up if, let's say, the receiver is not receiving it well. That's why it's very important to invest in a good mic. You might not need to invest in like a podcast mic like what I'm using now, but if you're doing it for a long-term basis, you're doing your own videos, you need recording, you need very clear audio. And if you are even repurposing your video, it's also important that it's how should I put it? It's good. It will help you in your video editing, even for your video editor, is to have clear audio and invest in a good mic. If not, have any earpiece mic, put on the earpiece. You don't need to just put on two, you can just put on one. Okay. So for me, my earpiece is for me to hear the sound, to hear what you guys are sharing, what you guys are talking, at the same time to monitor my own voice, because I can hear my own voice through the earpiece, meaning that more likely you can hear me clearly. That's why a lot of time you hear speakers using built-in mic. They do not know whether are they being heard or their audio is good, because they are not even hearing their own voice. So they will just go on and on. They just forget about the audience. So that's where the audience experience, the viewer experience will decrease. and people will just turn off. All right. So if you can hear me clear, definitely you will be able to input. And if I speak slower, which is what I'm going to go on. So if you get this clear audio, just type 1 in the chat. Okay. So from here onwards, right, observe what I do, not what I say. Okay. Okay. So good. I see for Michelle 1. If it's good for you, just type 1. Okay. I see Nicole is busy. Okay. I see Corina. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, move on. So what type of mic? This is just my recommendation. I'm not selling for them and stuff like that. So these are what I call affordable mic. Okay, if you're using your cell phone to do Facebook Live, you can invest in this, which is Boya BYM1. Uh, one thing, one thing to note, right? If you can see this piece, right, there's a center piece where you put in the battery. This is kind of like the booster. There's a lot of mic that is sold out there, but they do not have this booster. That's why a lot of them are very soft. Although they are very clear, but they are very soft. Meaning that if you clip it on your shirt, like with a round neck, right, you might not be able to capture the sound. So because it's not being boosted, that means whatever is captured is not being boosted and go into your phone. Okay, so you need this. If you want to get other brands, you can do that, but they must have this booster where there is a very small battery inside. So it helps to amplify your sound into your phone. Okay, so this is what you can do. There's a clip also. There's also a shield, okay, windshield to cut off all the all the wind sound. Okay, yeah, so it does have a clip. Yes, Michelle, it does have a clip. Okay, so if you can see here, there's a clip over here. Okay, so this is just taking out from the box. So for here, here's the mic. Okay, so if let's say you need to move around, or you need to demo, or you're doing a yoga or Pilates, then you can consider to get this, which is BYMM1. So this is what we call the boom mic. And boom mic, right, basically it will just clip on, like you see. Okay, if you want to use it with your cell phone, you need to have a mount, or what we call a smartphone mount, which is like a clip. It has to, well, let me see, where's mine. Okay, you hold on. Okay, so for the mic, right, if you can see from the picture, there's this I would say a clip or stand for you to slot in. Okay, so for this, right, you have to have a mount. If you can see from the camera, have to have a mount, right, that has this like a show, they call it a horseshoe. Okay, so you can slot it in and tighten it. Okay, you can see from the slide. So this is the F mount that I'm using. Okay, then this is the part where you can attach to your tripod. Okay, so you need this, and I see a lot of mount, right, that is outside that use is they go by the spring. Okay, which is not very good, because after long usage, right, it will just snap. Okay, I've already spoiled a lot of them. That's why I get this, and this is good because you can just turn and tighten it. So it does have the spring, but the screw is the thing that goes. Okay, okay, good. Okay, so if you were to use this boom mic, right, you need to have this slot so that you can slot it on top of your smartphone. So your smartphone will go in here. Okay, your phone will go in here. Let me just show you. Okay, so your phone can just go in here, slot it in. Okay, so this is how the Boya boom mic, which is BYMM1, will use. And this is the windshield. So this is very good for people who are moving around, or you're doing vlog, or you're going outdoors. This windshield will help in eliminating the wind or other sound. And for this, right, if you can look at it, right, in fact, it only capture the sound from the front. Okay, from the side, you will not. So it's very good when you're doing talking, you're not clipping on it. If you're using demo or your body need to move, it's good for you to use that. It can capture that. Okay, if it's this is good, just type 1, and I'll move on to the next one. Okay, good. Okay, next one. Okay, so just now I've explained why you need a clear audio, and the most important thing is to speak slower. Okay, this has to do with the audio bit rate, because when you speak too fast, right, your speech might be muffled or inaudible, which will affect the viewer experience. Like I mentioned, the built-in mic, so it does have that effect, and it will will not give a very good experience for your viewer. And furthermore, if you are sharing something that you want them to hear, you need them to hear you clearly. So you need to speak slower at time. Like now, what I'm doing, I'm not speaking too fast, but at time you need to speak a bit faster. Okay. So if you want to inject some certain parts that you want them to listen, you need to slow down. Okay. If let's say you're using a built-in mic, then you need to slow down. But because I'm using a very good mic, then I can move fast because I know that my audio will not be cut off. Okay, good. So if this is good, just type 2, then I'll move on. Okay, if this is good, just type 2 and we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, good. Okay, so if you see what I'm doing now, right, this is something that you can do in your Facebook Live, is to have engagement from your audience. If you're speaking on your own, then if you need some energy, you need some engagement, this is where you can prompt them. Okay, if it is okay, then you move on to the next one. Okay, this is to this is also to engage with them and know that whether are they registering or they are drifting off. Especially when you do Facebook Live, it's not like Zoom. Are not able to see them. Then from Facebook Live, you know that they're responding. If you see people are coming in, then that's where you can do that. Okay, good. So the next one is the speaker audio level. Okay, a lot of times, I see a lot of people who do Facebook Live, they did not realize that their audio are very soft. Even I turn on my volume to the max, their voice are not being heard, not very clear. It always happens for people who use built-in mic, or they are using not a very good mic, or they're not using at all. So it's always good to do a sound check. And what you can do, right, is you can post it, you can do a Facebook Live, and you can set it only me. That means you can replay and rewatch that test Facebook Live, and you can set the post setting as only me. Then you can watch the replay to see whether your audio is clear. And you can also do a sound check. Like for me, I can do a sound check like from sofa to Sonia and all that. So then from there, you know that how loud you sound and how soft you sound. A lot of time, because when you go on the Facebook Live, you are not able to hear your own you are not able to monitor your own voice. So it's always good for you to do the sound check. And if you are using software like StreamYard and all that, you also need to do a check also to hear whether your audio are good. Because I realize a lot of people who are using StreamYard, when they interview people, when they speak and their audience speak, they cannot hear each other. It's breaking up, is cutting through. That means if let's say Corina is speaking and I'm speaking at the same time, it will cut off. And most of the reason why, like I shared in the beginning, is if you are using inbuilt mic, let's say I'm the host. My audience is my guest is speaking, is coming out from my laptop, and my voice is going in. So that's where in the middle some things are blocked because we are using inbuilt mic. So this is what I realized, and there will be a lot of what we call forgot what is that word. So there'll be the wow wow sound because there's interference, and the host or the guest is not aware of it if they are not monitoring their voice. That's where the host will just keep on going without realizing that his or her voice there's a distortion in it. Okay, so this is something that you have to do to make sure that people can hear you clearly. Because when you go in straight to the Facebook Live, right, if you don't stop and monitor, you will not know, and people will start dropping off. Okay, so if this is good, just if you get it, just type 3 and we move on to the next one. Okay, thanks Michelle, thanks Corina. Okay, next one. So number 4 will be dry run through, rehearse before going on live. I understand that a lot of time you need to do it fast, you need to have time to prepare, but it's so good for you to rehearse. when I mentioned about rehearsing, is not to really go through the whole skit. Is to go do a run through of the pointers before going on live, especially the introduction. Like for me, I would say, welcome to Mompreneur Space live show where we talk about entrepreneurship, parenting, and life. I'm Kenneth Chu, the host, the author of Mother Industries. I can say like that because I practice a lot. I've rehearsed way, way before that. And until now, because I've done 73 episodes, the opening just come in naturally for me. Okay, so you need to rehearse before going on live. I see a lot of people who go on live do not know what they want to do not know how to do the opening, or don't even do the opening. And what they do is they, when you go live, right? How come people not coming on live? How come people not coming on live? Do you see that often? I see a lot of people looking at phone while it's still on live. Okay, so later when I touch on the first 5 minutes, it's very, very important. Okay. Okay, if you get this, any question, you can always post in the comments. If not, I will move on to the next one. Type 4 if you get this, and I will move on to tip number 5. Okay, thanks Michelle, thanks Corina. Okay, tip number 5. Okay, this is something that not a lot of people realize. This is something that I realized when I run my mentorship classes. Realize that even on Zoom, some of their connection are not strong enough. Okay. Then the other thing is to make sure your Wi-Fi is strong. Later on, I will share with you how you can test your Wi-Fi, doing a speed test to make sure that your Wi-Fi is strong and your phone or the laptop battery is full or plugged in. Because there are times where you can even know that the person's Facebook will be cut off because they forgot to charge the battery, the laptop or the phone cannot last that long. If you are doing like an interview, it may not last. So the other way to make sure that everything is strong is to close all other application and apps so that it will not slow down the processor. Because this is more technical. Because for Facebook Live, right, is running on your Windows, is on using your RAM. So if you're having other what do we call it? Other application or other windows that's open, right? Your computer is overrunning and you do not have at least a 64 GB of RAM. You're not able to run multiple application. And when you are running stream, it's getting heavier. Meaning if let's say now it's only 100, then when you run stream, right, it's going to bring down the speed also. So that's where some of my friends who do Facebook Live, they say that, oh, my laptop crashed and got hang because they do not have enough RAM. And sometimes they on a lot of application, they on Excel, they on other windows, they on YouTube, they on Facebook, they on a lot of things, which is draining the Wi-Fi. And you might not know. So it's best, right, when you do Facebook Live, close off all other application, even tabs, because every application is running on the background, right? It's eating into your Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is something that is the technical support. You have to understand that, but there's more to that. As long as you make sure that this is covered, that all other application is closed, then the next part will be your Wi-Fi. This is more for your the device that you are using, be it phone, because phone a lot of times you have other application on the background, meaning that means you need to swipe them out from it. So just leave with your Facebook. Okay. So if this is clear, number 5, tip number 5, just type 5 and I'll move on. So meanwhile, I just have a sip of water. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Corina. Okay. Okay, so this is I would call it out of the 12, one of the most important thing and something that a lot of people are not doing, which is do not just do nothing and wait for people to come on live. Okay. Because like Nico is laughing because I know what she's doing. Okay. And okay, although it's called Facebook Live, it's not really live. If you understand that after that, it will be on replay. So there are still people watching the replay. Okay. So don't stop talking. Start introducing yourself to those who are watching the replay. For example, one I see a lot of replays of Facebook Live is, like I mentioned, they are watching their phone. People are coming on live. Are we live? Are we live? They keep asking themselves. It's like, imagine I'm the one watching the replay. Like first, let's say the first 30 seconds, I'm seeing you doing that. Do you think that I will continue to watch. And most of the time, they will have to wait like 1-2 minutes for people to come on live. Okay, the key thing is Facebook Live is like, if you watch it on your phone, depending on your Wi-Fi, imagine you're doing live, you're watching the replay on another device. Do you agree with me that it is eating into your Wi-Fi? So it's lagging. Okay, once you see from your phone, right, there's a timer on your Facebook Live that is running, you are live. Okay, even if you're not live, people are not hearing you, just do it. Just do an introduction. Start introducing yourself. Hi, everyone. My name is Kenneth Chu. I'm the host of Mompreneur Space Live Show. And in this video, in this Facebook Live, we're going to share with you 3 tips how you can do your Facebook Live more productively and more effectively. So this is what you need to do. Why? Because when people watch a replay, they want to hear what are they for? Why do they want to tune into your Facebook Live? You need to tell them objective. Then they will stop. Then they will just continue. Then that's why you say, okay, thank you for watching the for those that are watching the replay. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for tuning in. And meantime, we will just wait for more people to come on live. Okay. In using that introduction, right, in the beginning, your 30 seconds, you are letting people coming in, and you are addressing to those who are watching the replay. At least they know what you are going to talk about, and whether they are interested to continue to watch. All right. So this is very important, which I see most people are not doing. They are just waiting for things to happen, waiting for people to come in. Then in the end, they are disappointed that people are not coming in. Then they, okay lah, LL lah, no choice. And then they start doing the show. Okay, you should not even do that. Okay, so don't stop talking. If let's say you have a guest, right? This is another thing that I felt, that if you have a guest, you should even do the introduction of your guest in the beginning, whether anybody is coming on live. You can always do the introduction while people start coming in your live. You can do a reintroduction for those who are watching live. Okay, so in the beginning, if let's say I have a guest, let's say it's Nicole, say, hi everyone, my name is Kenneth Chu, and in this episode, I've invited Nicole to come on to our Facebook Live to share her experience as a mompreneur. So imagine you are watching the replay, you know what you are watching, who is the guest. Then if you want to introduce a guest, also you can start introducing. Nicole is a mompreneur, da. Then after that, let's welcome her. Okay, so I see that people are coming in. For those who are tuning in, just stay for a while. We're waiting for more people to come in. So you need to be doing this introduction to fill in that gap of waiting for people to come in on live. Imagine if let's say there's nobody coming on live, you are just wasting that first 1 to 2 minutes doing nothing, and people who are watching the replay, they will nothing much to watch. Okay, I turn off already. Okay, next. Okay, so this is something that I see most people are not doing it, and even though the show is a lot of golden nuggets, a lot of value. Okay, so don't stop talking, start introducing yourself, or if you have a guest, start introducing your guest, and also in the first 30 seconds, let people know why they are tuning in. Okay, what are they in for? Okay, so if you get it, just type 6 and we'll move on to the next tip. Okay, so this first 5 minutes is very, very important, which I see a lot of people not doing it. If you do it, then people who watch the replay will benefit a lot. Okay, next thing. Okay, so this is where I'm referring to intro. So when you start your intro yourself. Is the first 5 minutes. Intro yourself to those who are watching replay and welcome those that are coming on live. So the sequence should be like that, not the other way around. Welcome those coming on live, because Facebook Live will lag. Let's say today, if let's say now I'm broadcasting, I would say typically for the first 1 to 2 minutes, you don't really see much people unless you have done a lot of promoting, preamp, and they have click on the get reminder bell and all that stuff, then they will be reminded. If not, I can tell you, the first 5 minutes, right, most people will not come in because it will take time to reach them. Imagine if now I broadcast something to reach you, broadband, data, if they do not have Wi-Fi, it might not reach them earlier, or at that point of time, they have a lot of things coming in, a lot of notification coming in. They might not be able to see your posting at first. Then maybe after 1-2 minutes, then they start seeing it. Okay, it's not that they are not coming on live. They need time to receive that notification to come on live, especially if you're not doing it consistently at a certain time frame or time zone. Then you will not be able to expect a lot of people coming in. Okay, so mention again, intro, give them a reason why they should stay on to watch your Facebook Live. Okay, so if this is good, just type 7 and move on. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Nicole. Okay, so the other thing is a lot of people be asking me like, how can I create content? Then how should I present the content? Okay, there's a simple way to do it, but the key thing is to create a framework to present your content. Okay, you can break it down like, okay, what are the top 3 tips that will help you to have more audience? What is that top 5 tips? Things like that. You can use a very simple framework. Why? Because with simple framework, people will understand. Like for me, it's like top Facebook tips for business. So that is a framework, or top 12 tips, stuff like that. So you can even use odd number. That in the previous session, someone asked me, Kenneth, why odd numbers? Do you realize that why do we say that, or the top 3 prizes, or the top 5 or top 7? You hardly see people like top 2. Funny, right? Or top 4. Chinese don't like the number 4. Then if you say top 6, sounds a bit, there's always a magical in odd numbers, and also the lucky 7. And 10 is more like, okay, it's completed, like 10. The top 10 tips, like a lot of things. So there's always a psychology in all this. Like why do we say the 3 little pigs, 3 musketeer? Why? It's like, why all these people who create movies, they always have this, like this, there's a reason. Because if you have too many, 3 is enough. And this is something that I read, that at any one point of time, right, our brain can only absorb or take in 3 things. Okay, that's why if you overload with them with like 10 or 9 or whatever, it's a lot, especially if you're doing a introduction. So that's why if you see a lot of YouTubers, they like to use all this top 3, top 5, top 10, stuff like that. Why? Because these are things that people know in advance, and it gives them a reason why they should tune in. What are they expecting? All right. So hope this one will help you in creating your content. On the other thing, this is something I share in my Shiro program, is another way for you to create your content is to answer FAQ, frequent asked question. Meaning that if, let's say, I guess most of you here have customers or have audience. So what you can do is, I believe that you have audience or customers coming to you asking the same question again and again and again, and you're kind of like repeating yourself. So take all these questions and do it in the video. Share it in the Facebook Live as content. Okay, so you can say that the top 3 questions that my customer always ask me. Okay, or my top 3 questions that I always get on essential oil, or I get on sanitary pad less for Jolene. The 3 common questions. Yeah, then you address that. Why? I realize the power of answering question, right, is you can resonate with the person. If this question is being asked so often, then it makes sense that majority of your audience will be interested, will need the answer for it. Yeah. So use that question and answer method. Like a lot of people, how to be happy. Okay, let me share with you 3 ways for you to be happy. Simple, right? So how to be more hygienic. Okay, I'm going to share with you 3 steps for you to stay hygienic, something like that. Yeah. Or maybe 3 steps for you to build up your immune system. Okay, so these are things that you can use. Simple and direct, people can understand, and you can create a lot of top 3, top 5, top 7, or top 10 things that can help you to have the result. The key thing is, what result are you helping them with? Okay. Okay, so if you get this, just type it and move on to the next one. This is something that I've cracked it. I've helped one of my client. I'm coaching her on the video, on doing her own video, and because the content has to come from her. So I asked her, because she said that it's very hard for her to come out with content. And I said, why not you think of questions that your customer, because she has been in her line of insurance for almost 20 years, 20, 25 years. So she has a lot of questions. So when she start doing the Q&A, kind of Q&A, right? She's flooding me with a lot of videos. It can be a simple 3 to 5 minutes video answering questions of her client. Yeah. So this is something that you guys can explore. And I believe that you can churn out a lot. If you, let's say, you have customer asking you the question, or you have been in the industry for many years, this could be one way. All right. So thanks a lot. So the ending, I'm not referring to my ending. The ending is referring to your Facebook Live ending. So always summarize what you have shared in your presentation and have a call to action. Okay, this is something I haven't seen anybody doing that. They don't summarize what they have shared, because if you realize Facebook Live, people can come in any point of time. Okay, they might come in the ending because they might take some time to commute, and after that they have time, they come and watch, then you're going to coming to the end of your show. So always have a summary of what you have shared in your presentation, and most important thing, a call to action. And the call to action doesn't mean that you need to sell. It's to help them. Okay, the summary is to help them to see if they miss out on anything, and the call to action is you want to get feedback from them. That's why I mentioned in the beginning, is to have a clear objective. What do you want to get out of from this Facebook Live? Like for today's session, later on, I will also share with you what is my call to action. It's not selling you anything, but there must be a call to action. Okay, so that's why I say, see what I do, not hear what I say. Okay, so later you will see that. Okay, if this is good, you get it, then type 9, and I'll move on to tip number 10. Okay, we still have another 3 more tips. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Nicole. Okay, any one of you need to go to the restroom? I know that it's going to be a long session. If you need to, we can have a 5 minutes. And while waiting, I can answer any questions if you have. If you have, you can unmute yourself, and I'll answer your question. Till now, any questions? Okay, Nicole?
Yes, Kenneth, I have a question.
Lai, come.
Okay. So okay, so sometimes I think my challenge is to have a call to action, because I think to summarize what the speaker has said should not be an issue. But it's more like the call to action, because maybe for me, my Facebook Live is quite uniform, so I can say about the same thing for that. But I mean, I'm just asking like for future call for action. For example, if I want to share my story to inspire a mother to do a business, or I want to inspire somebody to take up a courage to like just do it, or be okay to step out of your corporate world and find another job, you know. So what kind of a call to action, you know, is there any format or any guideline that I can follow?
Okay, I can share with you some of the call to action. If let's say you are not selling anything, is to ask them, what is your one key takeaway from this session? Okay, share with me in the chat. Okay, so this is something like a call to action. Or maybe you want to throw it out. Okay, I have this challenge for all of you. Okay, if you see the importance of essential oil, what I want all of you to do is to maybe to a challenge. Just throw out a challenge, like a challenge of sharing one essential oil every day for the next 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I throw a question back for people to think about their life or something like that? If
Think
it's,
about what? Sorry?
to think about their life, their career,
Okay.
if it's not to do
Because
with essentials.
if you throw out something like that, which is very general, right? In fact, if you ask anyone, okay, or what do you need to do for your life? It's like, it's very hard for people, because they might be asking you the question back, can you teach me how to? Yeah. So it's try, okay, for the call to action, try not to have something that's too generic. Okay. So it could be, okay, like for me, what I've done for my show is that I always have this call question of the day. Okay, so the question of the day will be from the audience, from the guest out to the audience, and also to the next guest. So this could be my call to action. Okay, so this is what I do, but there's other ways. But the key thing for the call to action, right? It has to link back to your objective, like today's objective. Okay. So my call to action for all of you could be, okay, do your first Facebook Live in the next 7 days. It could be simple like that. Okay. I want to see your your Facebook Live in the next 7 days. So what you can do, you can tag me under hashtag Kenneth Chu TV. Yeah.
Ah,
So you can do that so that I can see whether you have done that in the next 7 days. Okay.
I see, I see. Oh,
So
this is
this
a
is
very good
something that you
one.
can throw out to them. It can be like a challenge. It can be like a tracking thing. The call to action is for them to do something based on what you have shared. Okay. So that could be my call to action. So you can do that. It's for you to monitor, and that's why you have to ask yourself back, what is your objective of doing this Facebook Live? Do you want them to take action? And maybe you want to let them know that by taking the action, you are able to achieve the result that I've shared. If you're not taking the action, then it's the cause of inaction. Okay. So like for today, definitely whatever you shared with me, I want you to do something about it and not just learn and forget. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank
I
you
hope
so much.
that answer your question.
Yes, yes, very helpful.
Yeah.
Especially the
Okay.
back view, the chemistry TV, the one I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah. So that's where you can track back because you might not be on their social media on Facebook. If let's say like if you are doing it on Facebook, you can ask them to use like whatever hashtag that will relate back to you or whatever that you shared. So this could be something so that you can track back and see if they have done it. Like you talk about that live, maybe they will do a post, then they hashtag Nicole or whatever to maybe to your company, to whatever that you want, or a challenge, maybe essential or EO challenge, maybe for example. Yeah, so that you can track back. Then for every live, you can do that. Okay. So or maybe tag back to you have this what 5-figure moms, is
Five
it?
figure mom.
Yeah. So you can then you can do the hashtag 5-figure mom also can, so that you
Okay.
can track. Yeah. On the other side, you are putting your branding, you're
Yeah.
putting your
Yeah.
branding out
True.
also. Okay. So like for
Okay. Thank
Michelle,
you.
you can do that also. Yeah. Okay. So if it's good, okay, now I'll move on to tip number 10. Any other question before I move on? Okay, I see Corina going on break. Yeah. Oh, is she there? Is Jolene there? Okay, I'm seeing. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll move on. Tip number 10. Number 10 is engagement. Okay, this is also another thing other than the first 5 minutes is do not be bothered by the number of live audience or how many likes or how many comments you have. Okay, I can see the huge laugh on Nicole. Okay, remember your Facebook Live can be replayed and will be there for people to watch. Focus on those that will watch the replay. Okay, I see a lot of people are too caught up with this what we call vanity matrix, and they've forgotten to have that engagement with the audience. Like I mentioned, if the first 5 minutes you are watching, you're looking at your phone, scrolling, see people coming on live or not, there's no engagement. Okay. In the even the first 30 seconds, it's your first impression also. Like your audience, they may be coming in, oh, they are expecting something, and they come and watch a replay. In the beginning, is you looking down on your phone, then you look terrible because the lighting is not there, then the shadow, then you look very eerie and all that stuff. So be aware. The key thing, if once you get this into your head, right? The key thing is don't be bothered by the number of live audience. Treat it as you are doing the video for replay, or you're doing a pre-recorded video. If there's live audience, then it's good. If not, just treat it as a plain video and don't be bothered whether who's coming in. Just do the things that you need to do. Like I mentioned, the first 5 minutes, your introduction, your content, what are they here for, and really look into the camera. Okay, this is the power of connection, looking into the camera and talk to them. Okay, so at any point of time, like sometimes you could look at me like I'm looking down because I'm looking at my slide, but at times you need to come up to the camera and talk to the camera. Okay, so don't be bothered because I see a lot of people, anybody coming on live, if you're not doing a good job promoting it, then you will not expect audience coming in. Nobody knows. And second thing is, if you're not active on Facebook at all, you're not consistently posting things, I can tell you that Facebook will not even recommend your post or even show your post to your friends. That is on another part of social media marketing. So for engagement, if your posts are not consistently, and they are not having basic engagement, that means your basic posts are not getting engagement, people are not seeing your posts at all. Even you do Facebook Live, even how hard push your Facebook Live out to people, but beforehand they do not know who you are connected with, who are engaging your post. So imagine, right, if four of you, right, I never post anything, suddenly I do a Facebook Live, you might not even see, because Facebook does not recognize that we have that connection, and they will not show my Facebook Live to you. If let's say I talk to Corina a lot, like we in Facebook, we connect we post on each other's posts and stuff like that. We have that connection, and because Facebook or any other social media is a social media platform, it has to be social. If let's say it's always me giving out, do you think that Facebook will know that we are friends? No, right? Yeah, and furthermore, if you don't post, you don't comment on other people's posts, where did that connection come from? Okay, so that's why some of you may be wondering, like, how come my Facebook Live is not going out to more people? It's because you don't even have that social connection at all. This is more of the algorithm. You need to so-called kind of like bump up your algorithm. That's why if you look into my Facebook post, right, sometimes you will see that I ask random question. I ask simple question with a background and just very little words, asking question, and you will see people engaging. And there are really posts that I'm not getting engagement. It's perfectly okay, because I understand the algorithm. And sometimes, okay, and recently I understand why some of my same post, right, even the same short writing with a background, it does not go out, because there are times where I share some of my posts out to too many other Facebook group. Then that's where Facebook will kind of, you can call shadow ban, or it will temporarily stop you from reaching out. That means, imagine, right, every one of us, this is not stated, but this is what I realized. Your Facebook has this ranking. Okay, so if let's say you are a good boy, good girl, you're just doing the things, you're engaging with people, you're asking questions, then and you are getting engagement, then Facebook will just put you up. Okay, I should show Kenneth post more. It's very engaging, it's very informative, and going up. So imagine one day I start spamming people, then my whole ranking come down to square one. This is what I realized. Yeah. So this is something that you can observe, because this is what I'm doing. I'm helping my clients. So I'm always observing my engagement, my reach, and all that stuff. Okay. So that's where the ranking will affect. But when you stop doing the things that will affect your ranking, then you will be, your post will start reach out to more people. And the way you craft your post is also very important. So even for the Facebook Live, the first 5 minutes is very important. You introduce yourself so that people will know what they are in for. Then at least that first 30 seconds to a minute, you have people coming in, and Facebook see, hey, people are watching your video for at least 30 seconds or more than 3 seconds or 5 seconds. Then they will push out to more people. If people come in first 3 seconds, drop off already, because they are not hearing from you. Okay. And now, right, just for info, if you do not know, even you're doing live broadcast of your Facebook Live, people can still rewind back to watch on the spot. People still can watch it, like our, what is that? Our cable TV. You can watch back, rewind and watch back. Okay. So if this is good, just type 10. I'll move on. Okay. This thing I want to talk a lot on this number 10 tip on engagement, because this is something, it will I would say it will shift your way of doing Facebook Live. Okay. Other than the first 5 minutes and this engagement, because the previous session that I did with a group of 20, I think 25 of them, they nod their head. It's like, this is the biggest tip. So I want all of you to have this in your head, that don't be bothered by the number of live audience and or how many likes or comments you have, because this is not going to serve you, especially if your Facebook Live is going on replay. Okay, people will be very affected. Your audience will be affected, like you'll keep on waiting for the live audience. Then who are we watching the replay? So serve your people who are watching the replay. And I also realized that for those who are using your own personal profile to do Facebook Live, you're not able to see how many people are you have reached. Okay. And without that, right, it's very hard for you to know whether how many people get to see your replay. Okay. So if you use Facebook page, then it's easier. So if you are planning to do any Facebook Live for your business, I would advise you to use your Facebook page. Okay. If not, you can still do your personal profile. Just that as long as you have done, you have implemented the tips that I've shared, then then you will kind of build up that engagement, that reach. Okay, good. So I see the 10. Okay, next one. So number 11, use more visuals and tools to keep the energy and the user engaged. Like for me is, if you can see, I keep asking all of you to type 9, type 10 and all that stuff. Why? This is where you engage with them. Although I'm not seeing you live in person, but by moving the finger and touch the keypad is engagement. Rather than you talk, you never engage, they never do anything. They just sometime for people like me, ADHD, I need short attention span. I need people to engage with me. So even moving the finger, oh, okay, now I need to move my finger, need to type 10. Then I will do that. Then I will just log in again, meaning that like previously I will log off because you keep talking and I'm not getting it. Then when you engage me again, then if I see, okay, now we have one person that is not logging in, which is Jolene. Jolene never type 10. Yeah. So that's where, yeah. So this is where you can engage. Because I keep seeing, on Zoom it's easy. Okay. So on Facebook Live, you just need the energy to get going. You don't need everybody to. If let's say you have 10, at least there's 5, you know that the energy is there, people are watching and all that stuff. Okay. So good. So visual aids is the same. Be it visual aids or tools. Tools will be something like what I mentioned, like ask them to engage type 10, type 11, and also to focus on those that are watching the replay. And for me, I use my slides, okay, which is normal for people to use slide. But there are cases that you can even use a drawing board on the iPad. So these are something that you can explore, okay? But generally, if I'm using the slide and I'm watching you guys, the engagement on the chat is also very important. Okay, using visual aids. All right, good. Next. Okay, reflection. This is something that I realized that is also very important. After you have done your Facebook Live, it's important to watch your own Facebook Live replay and see what are the things you can improve on your next Facebook Live. Because I've seen a lot of people doing Facebook Lives, like they commit the same mistake again and again and the same. Because most likely they have not watched your replay. Okay, so this is to help you to be aware of yourself on how you're presenting yourself from another angle and see if there's any blind spots. Okay, so this is something that you could do, and it's also very important if you want to get better each time. Uh, is to watch your replay and reflect what are the things you can do better, what are the things that you miss out this time. You can do it on the second one. Like today, right, this session, right, it is also, it's already 2.0 version because I've done the previous one, and previous one I only shared 10 tips, but I realized that I have another 2 more tips. So I've revised it from 10 tips to 12 tips. Okay, so this is something that when I watch my replay, I see and getting feedback from people. Yeah, so this is the key. Let me just watch the time. Okay, so we have a bit more time. Okay, so this is the summary, the recaps I mentioned, like the summary, the recap, very important. So we have talked about the clear audio, speak slower, the speaker audio level, the dry run through. Number 5 will be technical support, first 5 minutes, intro and content, ending engagement, use visual aids, and 12 reflection. So out of these 12 tips, right, share with me what is the one tip that you will implement immediately. Just type in the chat, let me know what is the one tip that you will implement straight away that you will do. Type in the chat to let me know. Okay. So out of these 12 tips, which is that one tip that you will start implementing, or it is something that you will use it. So I see from Nicole is number 9, which is ending. Okay. So Nicole, maybe you can unmute yourself and share what is the part on the ending that you will implement.
Okay, the ending was what I learned from you earlier, right? The call to action, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that is very important because like what you mentioned, if we don't have a call for action and we don't summarize, and if people come halfway, people get lost. That's number one. And then number two, if there's no call for action, then why would people want to come to your Facebook live again? Because it's like if you're lost, if we are lost ourselves, our audience are lost, then everybody is lost.
Yeah. Yeah. You pointed out something that if there's nothing for them to do, then why are they coming on? That is one part. Second is I guess the key thing is what is your objective of doing the Facebook Live? A lot of people are jumping onto Facebook Live for the sake of other people are jumping on, like the FOMO thing, fear of missing out. Like they do Facebook Live, I'm not doing Facebook Live. But why are you doing? The key thing is still why are you doing this Facebook Live? Like for me, why I'm doing my Mompreneur Space live show is for me to build up my authority, my branding. Okay. So when people see Kenneth Chu, people see Mompreneur Space, or people here know about interviewing Mompreneur, they will think about me. So this is the thing that I want to, because I'm a guy, it's very hard for me to build my authority or build my brand in this mother community. Okay. So if now I've done 73 episodes, meaning that at least 73 people had watched the live other than the guest. So I've already planted the seed of me being the authority in these 73 mothers that watch at least. Okay. So if let's say I have multiplied by 5, then it's good. That's why now when when I go out for any events or parenting events, I will have mother coming to me, hey, I think I saw you somewhere. I say, is it Facebook? I've interviewed a lot of your mompreneurs. Maybe you are following one of the mompreneur or the mommy influencer that you might have seen me. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So that is where you build up your authority, and it's not overnight. Imagine only after 2 years, then I get this kind of response. I get people referring people, mothers to me or mompreneurs to me, or they come straight to me. I have direct message from them. Hey, I see that you're interviewing mothers. Can I come onto your show? Only after 1.5 years, 2 years, then I get people requesting. Okay, so this is something that if you want to build authority, definitely Facebook Live will help you. But the key thing, you need to do it consistently. Okay. So I've seen okay, Jolene. So the rest, Corina, what is the one tip that you will take away? Or you have more than one you can share? Can let me know. Then for Jolene shared number 6. So maybe Jolene, you can share with me what is the tip number 6 that you will implement straight away. You can unmute yourself.
It would be like be try not, like you are saying, the one first 5 minutes was the one that try not to saying am I on live and so on, like repeating if we are really on live. So I think that is the part where probably we just be ourselves, telling out there and the things that we need to say along, instead of like repeating, oh, am I on live? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of
So
people will not realize that they are wasting their first 5 minutes or even the first 30 seconds or
yeah,
first two
right.
minutes.
Mm.
So this is something that I've seen that there are a lot of people are not doing that I'm doing. So
Mm.
that's where I really emphasize on the first 5 minutes. Yeah, and that was how it came out with this first 5 minutes also.
And
So thanks a lot. Any other
thank
things you
you.
want to add on for the first 5 minutes that you'll take away? There's something that you can implement.
No.
Okay. Okay. Thanks,
Thanks.
Jolene. Thanks a lot. So I see Corina say a number 8, which is content. Okay. So Corina, maybe you can unmute yourself and share with us what is the content that you take away, or what's the thing that you could implement straight away.
All right. Before I say that, can I ask a question?
Can. Yeah, you can. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question about your mic, because
Mm,
you were sharing that to have a good mic, right?
yeah.
And you were saying that the mic to be placed on a stand for your phone.
Yeah.
But what if doing it on the computer? If I'm doing live on the computer, so
Mm-mm.
where would my mic be? Is it on the computer, to put it on my computer, or is it
Okay.
hanging
If you
somewhere?
are getting a mic, external mic, right, most likely depending on what you are getting, I would advise you to get what we call a USB mic
Oh.
rather than the audio jack mic, because not okay. Why would I advise USB mic? It could be like a headset with a
Mhm.
mic that is connected to USB, because when you connect to USB, right, there's power. When there's power, that means your audio is what you call it, is boosted,
Mm.
it's amplified. Like if now, right, because I'm using a USB mic, the power is there. Then if you hear me, right, it's very very solid because it can amplify.
Uh-huh.
Get it? Yeah.
Okay.
So it can be any USB mic that you can get out there. There are cheaper one from Logitech. It comes like a headset and a mic. Okay.
Okay. All
So
right. Oh,
to get
okay.
USB microphone, it can be single by itself. There's a lot out there. You can search for it and find one that is within your budget.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
if not, you can always yeah, you can. The other way is to check out the review of the mic on YouTube. Anybody have done it? So like
mm,
for me, before I get my this Boya MM1, right? I basically go onto YouTube to look for this model and see anybody is doing a comparison. There's a lot of reviewer out there doing comparison. I even did my own YouTube video on this review of this mic. I tested out different setting for it, and this mic itself has 4 different settings
mm,
for singing, for podcasting, for whatever.
mm.
Okay, so it comes in 4 different settings and it's being boosted. And now I have gotten, you guys can't see, I've just elevated with an extended arm, but it comes with a stand by itself. So for this mic, I can just raise it. If you can see, yeah. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
part
Yeah.
over here that is basically like a extended arm
Okay.
that I can put it like that, so I can adjust it.
Okay.
Because of my torso is a bit high, so I
Mm,
need to use it. Rather, it comes with a stand, but the stand is too low, so I need
mm.
to elevate it. Yeah. So
Okay.
rather to have that, then I bought this as standard arm
Mm.
for this usage.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can use that for Zoom also lah, in that sense,
You
right?
can use it for practically anything that you're using a laptop to go live stream, your
Okay.
video meeting.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
So for my now, thank you very much for
no
that.
problem. I hope
Uh,
the rest also uh learn from this.
mm,
Okay.
right. Okay. So my number 8, thank you for your sharing and,
Hmm.
educating us to go forward. And yeah, I think mine is, I think it was great that you mentioned about framework. So
Mm-mm.
sometimes you're just not so sure what to share. So
Yeah.
when you have a framework to say the top 3 tips or whatever, at least, even though you have a lot of tips, just focus on 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe the next 3 another time or something like
Mm-mm.
that. So I think that is something helpful to focus on. Yeah, so that it can share something of our own life and then just say that 3 things or
Yep.
something like that. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's great.
Something to add on, right? The content, right? Why do you need to break it down to 3? It's not just for the simplicity. It's
Mm-hmm.
also like you mentioned, you have so many tips that you want to share.
Mm,
Why not break it up into 5 times 3, 10
mm,
times 3? Then you
yeah.
can do 10 videos.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing is to have more content on the consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you have something to teach everyone, why not teach it on a longer basis, consistent? So, catch me every Monday at 10 p.m. and I will share the tips or share with you on specific areas, or maybe how to stay happy. So
Mm,
every week I will share with you how to be happy
okay.
every Monday, 10 p.m., stuff like that. So people will keep on watching and looking forward
Yeah.
for what you're going to share. If you like one session, all your 100 tips or maybe 50 tips or 10 tips you
I
share already, the end,
remember.
the
Yeah,
end.
the end.
And people are not there for you. And that's not how you build up your authority.
Yes. Right.
And on the other hand, is also because if you share it separately, you do not know who you're attracting.
Mm,
Maybe this week is maybe 5, and the next week the other 5 we might not be the same 5.
mm,
So everybody is seeing different content.
mm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you do one and you cover everything, the end, you are not, you only cover that maybe that 10 that come in,
Mm,
and that's it. But
mm,
what if you can spread it across 10 weeks? But if let's say you were to do any Facebook live to really have effect, is
mm,
to at least have at least five
mm.
series, 5 sequence,
Okay.
at least
Yeah.
have 5. Why? Because when you have 5, right, you can call to action for the second video, second Facebook Live. Okay, like let's say for next week, we're going to have a guest, and this guest is going to cover this. This is additional. This is more advanced. I would say that. I have not come to that stage yet, but that is could be something. If you are doing your own content, then it's easier. For me, is I'm always depending on my guests, and my guests don't always give me their details in advance. So it's very hard to put it consistently. If I were to create my own content, at least have 5. If you have 10, it's the best. At least you have 10 weeks to cover. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, so this is what I would share and add on to the content. Other than the top 3 or 5 and stuff like that, spread it across and at least have 5 in the series. Okay, this
We
will
don't have
be
call to action. Sorry.
sorry.
So the 3 tips, right? Then it's like, okay, what's the call to action? It's like
Yeah.
ask them to continue hearing or yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you plan in the advance, right, like you already have 5 series of content, like the first 3, the second 3, the third 3, all that. Then you can say, okay, stay tuned for next week where I will cover part 2 of today's topic. You can do that.
Okay.
Then it can be a part 5 or a series of 5 or stuff like that. So that's why the planning is very important to plan in advance. If you're doing your own content, it's even easier to plan. And like I mentioned, there's only so much you guys can learn. Yeah, although this session is really training, but on the other hand, I'm also having the replay that will be posted in a group so that you guys can revisit it and watch it. But for Facebook Live, they can watch the replay lah, although, but depending on what is your objective, what is your purpose. For me, this session is just to give you all the golden nuggets that you all can learn, and also for you to for me to answer your question. Okay.
Awesome.
So far so good. So I see that good. Have I answered your question, Corina?
Yes. Also, I cannot have to go because my meeting's at 5, so I'm in a rush now.
Okay, no worry, no worry.
But thank you very much. I will get back to you again.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm wrapping up soon. Yeah, I'm wrapping
Okay.
up soon.
Yeah.
If you can stay on, will be good.
Oh,
So far so good. Okay, then the next one will be Michelle. Michelle say engagement first. Number 10. Okay, engagement first 5 minutes most important. Focus on the people on replay. Yes, yes. So anything that Michelle want to ask on this? Anything you want to add on? You can unmute yourself.
Hi, Kenneth. Yeah, thank
Hi,
you for
hello.
your sharing. Oh,
No
yeah,
problem.
want to ask, add on to the mic, the mic question.
Yep.
So just now, what you shared, the Boya, the BYM1, is that considered the USB?
No, that one is
mic?
audio jack. That one is if you're using your phone, then it's good. If your phone is using audio jack, if not, you need to get a converter.
So if I'm using the computer or laptop, so if I buy that Boya, so I need to have an additional
USB.
converter. Is it?
No, okay.
What?
If you are using the Boya, I'm not very sure whether the clip-on mic does have a USB version. I know it has the USB-C, which is what most Android phone are using. But if let's say it's a USB-C, you can also use a USB-C converter to USB, the normal USB that can be plugged into your computer. You still need to buy the converter lah. But you are not using the audio jack version. There should be a USB or Lightning. For iPhone, it's Lightning cable. Yeah. If not, you can consider to get the Logitech. If you don't like headphones with the mic, right? There's another one, if I'm not wrong, from Boya. Is like those live event or those award ceremony. The MC will have this mic that there's like a kind of a solid wire, then the top will be the mic. So Boya has that version. If I'm not wrong, it's USB also. So if you want, you can search for Boya mic USB. Then there's a few different model that you can look for. If not, you can always search for USB microphone for laptop. Yeah, okay, search for it.
Okay, so for those can also click on the shirt.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
For clip-on mic, there is, but you need to find whether you need an adapter to change or converter.
Okay. Yeah, all these are very technical stuff.
Yeah, these are very technical. This one, I have to do it separately. So yeah. Then the other, any other things you want to touch on that?
Oh yeah, I noticed this Zoom meeting you actually live on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
So is there any reason or any difference whether you live on YouTube and live on Facebook?
Okay. For YouTube, right? Because rather than okay, I will be doing the recording, and after the recording, I'll be uploading on YouTube. So rather than I upload to YouTube, I can stream it on YouTube, and it will stay in YouTube.
Okay, so will you re-upload to YouTube? Since you already live on YouTube, so you won't be uploading
Okay,
on
because
YouTube, right?
it's under, I put it under unlisted, so only for those that it's not public, so only for those who have the link that goes in, then they can see the replay.
Oh, you mean on YouTube?
Yep, yep.
Oh, I see.
That means the file, if you go into my YouTube channel, you will not be able to see the replay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I put it unlisted. Unless you have the link to it, then you can watch it. Yeah. The other thing is I can also set it as private. Yeah. Why I set it as unlisted? So that at least I can see that I'm on live. Yeah. And that is just for me to house my content to be there.
Okay.
Yeah. Any concern? Anything? Or just wondering like why do I post it
Yeah,
on
just
YouTube?
wondering why. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's for me to multi-purpose it. Yeah, because it's okay. If let's say I can still stream it on Facebook, but because this round, right, I'm blasting this session to all my different groups. So it's not necessary from the mommy group, not necessary from other group. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there might be other people that will be watching. So that's why I'm doing the recording also. At the same time, yeah. At the same time, I'm streaming it to YouTube because ultimately I still need to upload it. So rather than I upload it, I can just stream it because it's going to be the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, on one hand, you are uploading to YouTube so that it stay there already.
Correct.
And the recorded version you will upload on
To
Facebook.
the Facebook group.
Okay.
Yeah. Because nevertheless I still need to upload. So if I can upload one platform lesser, then it's easier.
Yeah. So you can
Anyway,
choose
it's the same
YouTube
thing.
or Facebook lah. Yeah, you can choose either
It's
one.
like a backup also like just in case my whatever that runs out, my hard disk or stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other things on tip number 10? If not, I will just move on. We still have some the post Facebook Live.
Okay, you can move on. Yeah, I think not enough time.
Okay, no problem. So okay, the last part, which is the post Facebook Live. This is going to be very short. What I'm going to share with you is, okay, so after your Facebook Live is not the end. Okay, so for those who have commented on Facebook Live, reply to them, especially in the first, it's not a gauge lah, but just it's more effective if you engage to them or reply them in the first 30 minutes after you have ended your live, and also like those that have commented on Facebook Live, and for those who have liked the post. For example, let me just show you. Let me just stop share first. Let me just share with you how it looks like. Okay, let me just go onto my page. So this is like I would say it's a hack that you can use if you want to build your organic reach. Okay, let me just see if this thing works. Okay, so let me just share screen again. Okay, where's my share screen? Okay, can you guys see this page, the windows? Okay, if you can see, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, so if you can see this screen, right? So you can see all these people. So for this Micah, right? So Micah came in and watched the live. Okay, how you can see this, right? You can go to your Facebook Live, can go to this. Okay, people like. Okay, so Micah has not liked my page yet. So I can just click here, invite her. Okay, you see it, right? Okay, the reason, okay, let me show you the other one. So like for this is also a live. Whoever that like your page, right, you can go and invite them. This is the free way. If you're attracting people that are not in your community, they have not liked, you can go here, you can invite them. Like for Mel, she has not liked my page, so I can invite them. So this is a hack for you to grow your following. So even for your normal post, right, you can also normal post. Okay, normal post, you can also go in, you can just invite them. Yeah, so this is something that you can do. Okay. So most of that I've already like invited them because this is a hack that you can use. Okay. So far so good. Then let me just share back the slide. Okay. So this is the part where I mentioned like number 2, like those that commented on Facebook Live. Okay. This is the part where they like it, they have a thumbs up, whatever. Then you can invite them to like your Facebook page. That means to invite them into your page. Okay, so this is something like in additional for you to grow, because you might be inviting other people that have not liked your page yet. So you want to grow your following, you can invite them to like. Okay, so this might not guarantee, but if is you invite them and they see that notification that you invited them and they see that it's something that they will want to like or follow, then they will do that. But it doesn't really hurt you by just doing that gesture, that you can build your audience organically. Okay, good. Okay, so just a recap. So I've covered the preparation before Facebook Live. I've covered the top 12 Facebook tips during streaming. I also covered the post Facebook Live. Okay, in fact, there's more things after the post Facebook Live, but that might be another chapter, another session. So today I really want to focus on the top 12 Facebook Live tips and also the prep. Okay, so far, any questions? Any questions? Okay, let me just stop sharing. Okay, so to get everyone here. Okay, any other questions that you want? If you want, you can raise up your hand and unmute yourself. Then, yep. Anyone? So far, so good. Wow, that's good. Okay, so let me just go back. So you have a bit. Okay, so over here, share with me what is your biggest takeaway from this session. Okay, maybe you can go one by one, like Michelle first, then Nicole, then Jolene. Okay, Michelle, you can unmute yourself and share what is your biggest takeaway from this session.
Hi. Actually, it's similar to what I mentioned just now. Is the biggest takeaway is the engagement part, the focus on the people on the replay. Yeah, because I think initially it's like if we are first time doing it, like wow, we are so caught up with the number of people actually going live, and we forgot about the people that's like on the replay. So actually, the replay part, there will be much more views after that. Like so it can be hundreds. So it's like so you will never know how many people actually watch the replay. So we have to make it like very professional, like from the start to the end, like everything.
Correct.
Yeah. So like what you mentioned is like if I saw some replay starting,
you have seen it for yourself, right?
Like
there
a waste of time.
people...
Like I also like waiting that I need to like skip.
and you know something, right? When you do that, right, you do the opening, right? The additional thing why some people Facebook Live can go to more people. Do you know why?
More people share.
Okay, it's not about people sharing, because imagine, right, if you treat that video Facebook Live as a pre-recorded video, which it will be a pre-recorded video, like a replay. Replay is basically like a pre-recorded video, meaning that you can boost that video, right? Yeah. So you can boost that video for more views. Yeah, not conversion. Then you can reach out to even more people. And if your opening is done well, then it's more legit, because the first 30 seconds is very important. When you boost it to other people, you boost it out of your those that like your page, for those that you want to target, or even your target audience. Let's say yours is parents of certain age group and stuff like that. You can boost it to them. You can blast it. You can do a Facebook ad targeting at them and running for views. And that's where you get more people to consume your content. Imagine your Facebook Live is like, oh, look at your phone in the first 5 seconds, 30 seconds. I think when you boost it, it
Yeah,
doesn't
very
give you a
weird.
reason to boost.
Mm.
Yeah, especially for your business, your content is very important. So if you want to do a Facebook Live, it's a reason for you to create content, video content. And if you have audience, you've done your publicity, you've done your promotion, there are more people coming on live, then you have the engagement. So that is one thing that is very important. And also you can repurpose it to run ads to boost your views, to reach out to more audience. And this is more golden nuggets. So okay, good. Any other takeaway or?
Yeah, all the tips are very good. Like
Okay.
actually like the before and after as well is equally important. Yeah, the preparation work and like testing the audio, those kind of thing, and also like having enough battery. That's really like one of the common mistake, you know. Yeah, really need to have everything, your equipment.
Then you start to kanchiong, you start to fumble, low battery, then you don't know what to do, then you start to talk crap already.
Yeah, and
so-
also one more more simple, one of the common also mistakes like people forgot to record. Like when some people want to record, then they forgot to press the record button. Yeah, it's like, oh, these are things that yeah, we need to take note of. Oh yeah, and also one thing that I learned also from my other friends, like sometimes when they want to play certain video on their slides, then I don't know why it's like it just hang or like they can't play. So one backup plan is maybe to have the video on your desktop as well. So like in any case, like you can play it like as a backup version.
What you mean by play on the desktop?
Because I don't know, they embedded like maybe some videos on their slide, the PowerPoint or what.
Okay.
Then when they want to play, they can't play.
Okay,
so I don't know
the reason why, right, it will lag or drag, right? Okay, like I mentioned, your computer is running on the RAM. So when your computer is running on Facebook Live, is using a lot of RAM. That means the processor is working harder. So imagine you're running video, and the video most likely that resolution or that file size is huge. That's why that it will slow down everything. And when it slow down everything, do you agree with me that your live stream will be slowed down, and the audio will be chopped into bite sizes? That's why for the video that you want to play, right, you need to downsize to something that is visible, but it will not take up a lot of memory. Yeah, that's why it's very choppy. And if you put it in your presentation, imagine it's running your presentation and running the video on one single app, like the presentations, then it's using too many things already. Yeah, so that's why it's not easy for you to run videos like that if your computer is not strong enough. If you're running on a laptop and your laptop is very old, what I see in a lot is halfway they play the video, the whole computer hang. And if they are running Zoom or running on any platform, the whole application hang. That's why I recently have one professional speaker. He ran it online and his whole thing crashed because he's running a lot of application at the back. Imagine for professional speakers running a lot of things, then whole thing crash. Then he have to re-log in and do with just his smartphone on Zoom. Yeah, so what you pointed out is something. So video is something, that's why the testing is very important. You need to test out. If you're running videos or whatever, you need to test out. Yeah, you can even test out with your family members. You know, like for me, right, how I test out, right, is I have my laptop, my phone, all that. If I'm doing a Zoom meeting, so I will have all that on place so that I act as this, I'm hearing from it also. So at the same time, I can monitor like how do I look like on my iPad, on Zoom, if I'm running this, if let's say I'm running a video, because it will eat into my broadband. Yeah, so this is something that's why the testing is very important. And also to go through what are you going to present. Yeah, so that's why the dry run is very important also, which a lot of people don't do. They just go on live like that. They don't test. Why I can say that? Because I've committed a lot of that mistake that I've figured it out. And now most of my shows are okay, except occasionally it's the audio, because I'm always testing and building new plugin into it. Yeah, so that's why it's always good to test. And during my live show, I always ask the audience, can they hear me? And I always do a check. That's why I always ask them the question of the day for them to go and answer, because the show haven't started, so I can go to Facebook Live and check. So this is one method that I've realized that worked for me. then make sure that my audio is there, rather than in the beginning I talk until the cow come home, then nobody can hear anything. Yeah, so these are things that you have to see, and it became a unique selling point also. Yeah, so I hope that helps you. So any other takeaway that you want to share?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Okay,
you.
next, Nicole, can you share with all of us, unmute yourself and share with us what's your biggest takeaway from this session, other than what you have shared on
Okay,
something
other than
deeper?
ending, right? Okay, so I think most importantly is a reflection. I think that every time we do something, we should have a reflection, because time pass so fast, and then time just slip us by. If you don't do reflection, then like what you say, every time we have the same habit of, oh, we will make whatever mistake that you teach us just now, right? We will keep repeating the mistake if we don't have reflection. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is to do reflection. And I like what you say just now. You asked us that what is the one thing that we learned already we want to implement. I think that
Yep.
is very powerful for me, because a lot of times I like to learn. Do I implement? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So I guess reflection is the best way to ensure that we have implementation of what we have learned. So this
Yep.
is my biggest takeaway for today.
Okay, good. Thank you,
Thank
Nicole.
you.
So adding on, right? This is something that because this is where you have to start looking at other people's Facebook Live and learn from it. What will you do better? And other than your own reflection, it's also good to see others. Like for me, whatever I'm doing here, right, is whatever I'm learning from my mentor, or whatever I'm learning from various virtual events that I've attended. I pick up bit and pieces from them, like the engaging part, the type 1, type 2, and all that stuff. I'm learning from them. And also to be composed also. A lot of people say they know this drill, but they kanchiong, they eager, anxious. Example, oh, type 1 in the chat. Haven't, like, that means they haven't seen people typing 1 and they already moved to the next slide already. So after a while, right, people will think that you are not serious in asking for that. You're just going through the drill. Yeah, I can see Jolene smiling. Yeah, is it something? Okay, so next, Jolene, can you share with us what's your biggest takeaway?
Will be the pre and the post steps that you actually share with us, because I'm very for life, I feel that it's very important to have the preparation, so at least we has the practice of things that we need to look into, then we have a clear objection and so forth.
Yep.
Then we can do the correct publishing to the correct audience.
Correct.
And also to follow up in terms of the post segment, because that is how we can engage them and let them be in our community to actually also share on our upcoming promotion, although might not be the one buying, but they might be seeing. So
Yep.
people who might ask somehow, who knows,
Yep.
one of the days, then they're like, oh yeah, I see in the Facebook before, what, then that's part where the awareness bring in. Then we have to follow up. Then when on and off, when we do the posting on our own, even though we do it online, we don't really interact much with them.
Correct.
But at least we give them the impression that we are doing something, then expecting them to come to us, because certain things they might just don't really come to us directly. But if the frequency of time where they seem like we posted quite frequently, then the trust is there, I believe.
Correct.
So for
Okay.
the duration part, I'm not that because once you have a well prepared portion at the preparation part, I believe the duration area, it should be quite good lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good sharing. And also something to add on, right? The pre and post, right, is really important, because in the beginning when I started my live show, right, I don't have that. So in fact, for my live show, I've created a guest checklist. Before they come on live, I have all these checklists, what they need to do. They need to get their water, need to make sure their power plug in and all that. But I would say sometime I've forgotten to send the list. But that's why I always connect with them 30 minutes before that to make sure that is done also. Yeah, because I realized that the preparation 30 minutes before we go live as with the guest is very important to sort out the tech. Sometimes they log in, they cannot see the camera, or the audio got problem, or maybe the background or the framing, a lot of things. So before you see them come on my show, right? In fact, a lot of things have been done, especially for Michelle and Nicole. They have attended, they have been my guests, so they know that I will prep them, and also running through what they're going to expect, so that they won't be surprised. Other than the questions that I did not give them in advance, because due to the nature of my live stream, my audience also. That's why I'm not giving them the question in advance, so that it's not scripted, so that they are getting it last minute and all that stuff. So it's more real, more natural, rather than your, because my viewers are mothers, so the mothers will be more sensitive. Like, hey, it sounds very scripted. It's not real. It's not authentic. Then they'll say, okay lah, just say like wayang lah, what we call, like just say for the sake of saying. It might not be something that is real. So that is the nature of my live stream. Okay, so like you mentioned, the pre and post is very important, because if you're not prepared, right, if you have a guest, right, the guest also get nervous. The guest also not very stable. They are not very sure. And if you do not do the post, right, like Jolene mentioned, is to engage them and show that you care. Like, thank you for watching, you're appreciative. Then they know that, okay, Kenneth is not like done a video and that's it, done the live stream and that's it. You need to engage them back. And even let's say they commented something, even they already say hi, they say, oh, hi, thanks for coming in, thanks for tuning in. So what's your biggest takeaway? You can ask them a question. Then whether they answer or not does not matter, but at least you show that you're engaging with them. Although you might have engaged with them on the show, but you can always revisit them again, because all this will help you in your algorithm, in your ranking, so that and always end with a question like, what have you learned today? What's your biggest takeaway? And people who see that and they really have something, that is also a gauge whether your live stream is engaging enough, that they are learning something, then they can share. Imagine your live stream, right? They learn nothing after the 1 to 2 hours. Then you ask them that question, they also can't answer you, right? So this is also an evaluation whether your content is putting out to them or not. Okay, good so far. Okay, so last but not least, this is my call to action. Okay, so could you write me a testimonial and post it in the Facebook group that you're in? Yeah, so this is my call to action. And if something to add on is to, if you were to do your Facebook, that means after this, you were to do a Facebook Live because if you have already done your Facebook Live, it's okay. Just for your next Facebook Live, you can tag me as hashtag KCTV, okay? Hashtag KCTV, because I don't want you to put like Kenneth Chu TV, like it's so obvious it's from me. So you can hashtag KCTV on your next Facebook Live, so that I can see, if let's say you have done it, I can see the before and after, whether you have implemented it. So then at least it's a call to action. It's something that you will implement. Then, because whatever you say, it'll be on the recording. It'll be replayed. So if you hashtag KCTV for your next Facebook Live, I'll be able to see it. You don't need to hashtag every single one after today. You can just hashtag the next one. If you want to hashtag for the rest of your Facebook Live, also can to let me see your improvement, how you get better each time, then you can do that. So if not, so you can just go to the individual Facebook group that you're in to write a testimonial for me and post it in the group. For me, I will use that as marketing, but I will not feature the name. Okay. So unless you want me to feature, you can let me know. If not, you can just, I will not feature the name. I'll just feature the testimonial. Okay, good. So before I wrap up, thank you very much for coming in, attending, and for those who are watching the replay, thanks a lot for watching the replay to now. So any last question, any last thing that you want to ask me before we close it? Any more? Anything? Okay, if you have, you can raise up your hand. If not, then thank you very much. If you still can reach out to me in the Facebook group, if you have any questions. And that's about it. So do stay tuned for the next Zoom training session. Because in all the Facebook group, I've also done the polling, and this is the today's training, right? Basically, has the most vote. That's why I start with this training. But subsequently, I will have other content that I'll be posting out into the Facebook group. I'll be doing the session again. So keep a lookout. And that's all for today. Thank you very much. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Jolene. Thanks, Nicole. And also, thanks to Corina who has attended just now. You have to go. So thanks a lot. And thanks for those who are watching the replay. Thank you once again. And for those, I'm not forgetting those that are watching on YouTube. Okay. Thanks a lot. And thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Bye.